I just wanted to ask, were there any differences between this film and other westerns that you've been a part of that you really tried to emphasize in order for the audience to understand your unique approach?
Well, I've always tried very hard to have women in my westerns, and in this one, the same thing happened, and they literally ran right down the middle of most of my storylines. And a lot of times in American Western, it's just about men. Women have very small parts. But I found that it made my movie better that their stories were somehow integrating in the overall story.
And how did you draw on today's issues with women's rights to really influence that theme across your film?
How do I feel about what, though?
How did you draw on today's issues with women's rights to draw that feminist theme?
I didn't try to do anything other than look at real behavior. And so if you ask yourself what's real behavior, if you watch this movie or even watch the first one, women were very often just brought out to the West, not on their own. It wasn't their idea. Their men wanted something new, something bigger. And they were ill-equipped to be out in the West. They didn't have things. There was no refrigeration, and they had children, and they could only make 5 miles a day, 14 miles a day. And pretty soon a woman wakes up and thinks, I haven't had a bath in 2 months. I haven't had any water to clean myself. That's a real issue. I don't have to make something up to understand how uncomfortable it must have been for your ancestors to come forward. And so if you deal with the reality, it always is easier.
Was there anything in the nature of Santa Barbara that you drawed on for inspiration in the imagery you used?
No, Santa Barbara has fed me in a sense. This is where I live. My children go to school here. To be able to come to be able to be in front of those beautiful lights and then know I'm walking into the theater of a movie that I was able to make. Thank you, Jesus. It was amazing.
Thank you so much.